the rebel group M23, which operates in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, is raking in millions of dollars from a lucrative gold trade. This according to a just released report by the Enough Project, which alleges that M23 has built alliances with other armed groups in gold-rich areas and expanded its contacts with influential traders in Uganda, Burundi, and Congo. To discuss further that report, I'm joined by Sasha Lesnev, Senior Policy Analyst in Enough Project. Sasha, welcome to Africa 54.
Thank you for having me
once again. Now, this is interesting. First, in your report, you indicate that the M23 has taken over the more profitable gold trade. What does this mean? You would think that the government holds the more profitable chunk of the gold trade.
Well, there's still fighting going on in Eastern Congo today, and M23 has allied itself with armed groups in 3 different areas, Walikale, Beni Lubero, and Ituri, to form a network, really sort of an axis of gold evil, that they then trade through their border posts that they control on the Congo-Uganda border, and then export gold through Uganda and Burundi, which then goes to Dubai, and then onward to markets internationally, both here in the US and elsewhere.
How do those networks function? Yeah, I mean, the fellows are in this war zone, so to speak. Now, the other contacts are in these other countries. How does it work? Is it their government officials or these private business people?
Well, they're taking advantage of the ease of which gold is smuggled internationally. So, in Uganda, you can rubber stamp something that says that it comes from South Sudan. In Dubai, the checks are very minimal. And in Congo, there are many different armed groups that control different gold areas. So they took them over from the FDLR rebel group, and now Sultani Makenga has taken over from Bosco Ntaganda, who's sitting in The Hague.
Yeah. Now, this particular mineral is said to be easier to smuggle from the DRC than, for example, titanium and the other 3 Ts. Why so? Why
well,
gold?
You can fit about $500,000 worth of gold in a little briefcase. And provided you know a couple people at some of these airports, you can easily get it through in your hand luggage. And so people carry this hand luggage to Dubai and then smuggle it onwards, and no one really asks a lot of questions. Mm-hmm. So it's really time to combat this issue right at its head. What
needs to be done? Because we know that the group of minerals called the 3 Ts have kind of been attacked in a way that the illegal sale of this has been diminished. What needs to be done, and by whom?
Well, the good news is the international community is now really watching this trade as compared to years previous. And so there has been a lot of progress in combating the 3 Ts. We estimated that the armed group's profits are down by about 65% from tin, tantalum, and tungsten. So now it's time for Senator Feingold, the U.S. envoy to the Great Lakes, and UN envoy Mary Robinson to incorporate the economic dimension into the peace process and urge the Congo, Rwanda, Uganda, to institute the ICGLR certification process. And it's also time for Ambassador Samantha Power to work with Senator Feingold and make sure that the U.S. and the UN sanction the traitors who are aiding and abetting the rebels.
Are they people who are known, to the best of your knowledge? Are they easily identifiable?
Some of their companies were already under sanctions, but they simply set up new companies. Mm-hmm. So the key is to sanction the actual beneficial owners and press Uganda and Burundi to really clamp down on this trade. I think progress really is possible, and jewelry companies can also participate in solutions such as the Public-Private Alliance for Responsible Minerals Trade, where companies are actually investing in clean mines. We can do something from here to really have an impact on the ground.
Given that this is a 500 million kind of business yearly, do these rebel groups appear to be interested in anything else other than actually making money mostly?
Well, the key is really, is there going to be enough pressure on their sponsors and the people who are enabling them? Mm-hmm. And so if the calculations change from being more profitable to actually mine legitimate minerals and clean minerals and make it much less profitable to mine illicit minerals, then everyone will have to either open new businesses or frankly they'll be behind bars.
Yeah, in your report you make a call to, among others, Senator Feingold, who is a special envoy to Congo. What is your message to him?
Well, we're so thankful that Senator Feingold is there in this position now, and it's really time for him to press Congo, Rwanda, Uganda to implement their certification process. The region has come together and put together a very comprehensive certification process, but some of the countries are still dragging their feet in setting up the accountability system. So, let's get this going so that there can be a real African solution for this problem.
Yeah, but there has to be some pressure from the US and others.
We hope so.
Thank you very much for coming today to join us on Africa 54. Zasha Lesnev is Senior Policy Analyst in AF Project.